Right.
Hey, Celine,
Yes,
could you make me some hot tea?
yes,
It could be, there's some Earl Grey in the pantry, in the, the laundry room pantry.
okay.
That's got caffeine. Thanks. But I'm gonna need an inhaler. Get it, honey.
No, no worries.
Okay. Here. Where is it? Come on. Here. Come on. Come on. Come on, Elsa.
Yeah.
I don't want to show it as something. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's okay. They haven't started.
She hasn't started yet. He wants to show you something.
Yeah, they still haven't officially let.
Sorry.
It's a meeting, huh?
Hey, welcome. Our invocation today is going to be by Jerry Engel. No ladder. I'm not getting on a ladder, and Jerry's not getting on a ladder. Any day.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Before I start my invocation, I think I like to ask two quick questions. First of all, man, I joined Rotary back in anyone in the club that joined. That's active. Okay, that's number one. Number two, 93 years old. Is anyone over? Okay, I got two first. So that's why I asked those questions, because I want to thank I want to thank Captain Hill for, I guess there's an award for being older, but she took that nice picture of me in as you know, in the souvenir catalog, or in the souvenir book, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Kat. Anyway, my invitation, we know what invitation is supposed to be. They're supposed to be uplifting. And I've always, most of my life, always considered myself a maverick that like to think outside the box. And there's no exception. I'm going to share something with you. Okay, there it is. It's on the screen. This is on in my office. I have that plaque, and it's my daily mantra. It says, be kind to yourself, think positively, dream wildly, laugh loudly, take time to make your soul happy. So the theme of my invocation today is laugh loud. So I'm going to read from you from a book called Disorder of the American Court. Actually set in court and word for word taken down by published by court reporters who had the torment of staying calm while the exchange was taking place. So let's have some laughs. Number one, attorney. Now, doctor, isn't it true that when a person dies in his sleep, he doesn't know about it until the next morning? And witness, did you actually pass the bar exam? Attorney, the youngest son, the 20-year-old, how old is he? He's 20, much like your IQ. Attorney, were you present when your picture was taken? Witness, are you kidding me? Attorney, she had 3 children, right? Yes. How many were boys? None. How many were girls? Your Honor, I think I need a different attorney. Can I get a new attorney? Attorney, how was your first marriage terminated? Witness, by death. Attorney, and by whose death was it terminated? Witness, take a guess. Attorney, can you describe the individual? Witness, he was about medium height and had a beard. Attorney, was this a male or female? Witness, unless the circus was in town, I'm going for male. Attorney, is your appearance here this morning pursuant to a deposition notice which I sent to your attorney? Witness, no, this is how I normally dress going to work. Attorney, doctor, how many of your autopsies have you performed on dead people?
Yeah,
All of them, from the live ones put up to a fight.
mommy. Do you want in here?
Attorney,
Come on in.
recall the time that you examined the body. Your witness, the autopsy started around 8:30 p.m. Attorney, and Mr. Benton was dead at the time. Witness, if not, he was by the time I finished. Attorney, are you qualified to give a urine sample? Witness, are you qualified to ask that question? And the last one, attorney, not before you perform the autopsy, did you check your pulse? No. Attorney, did you check the blood pressure? Witness, no. Attorney, did you check the breathing? No. Attorney, so then it is possible that the patient was alive when you began the autopsy. Witness, no. Attorney, how can you be so sure, doctor? Witness, because his brain was sitting on my desk in a jar. Attorney, I see, but could the patient have still been alive nevertheless? Witness, yes, it is possible that he could have been alive and practicing law. Thank you. Well, I knew I'd get you to laugh, but I just like to finish with my old TV saying that says, "Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has given us life, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this day."
Thank you, Jerry. Our song leader today is President-elect Kirk Alexander. We didn't know you could sing.
Thank you. Thank you. So something to do that's a little bit appropriate for today, since Major League Baseball. And some of you in here know how dear baseball is to me and my family. So the Cubs and the Brewers broke it open this morning at Wrigley, and bases are bigger. The umpires are going to be calling the shots a little further away from things because it is bigger. Oh, no. But for the first time since '68, all 30 teams in the league, will play for the first time this season on the same day. How about that? And something that is a little bit different also is a more balanced season is scheduled for 23. 52 divisional games, 46 inter-league games, and 64 intra-league games. So how many games does that mean? 162. There you go. So we're going to sing, why not? Something that's appropriate for baseball.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to.
Thank you, everybody. Was that? Did I hear Jim Hunt say something about the red? No? Or was it the Red Sox? Oh. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you join me with the allegiance, please? I believe. Thank you. Seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is past President Randy Donald. Okay, Randy, do we have international visitors today? We have Murray.
Welcome, Murray. Yeah, I always like to say hi, and I'm really happy always to be here. Next time, don't bring the cold weather with you, though.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? Don't see any. We have guests of Rotarians. Yes.
Okay. Annie?
Thank you. I have again, she was here last week, my friend Leah Roberts. I hope she's going to join us. And she's the General Counsel of Romania. So thank you for coming.
Welcome.
Nice to have you here.
We haven't.
Hi, everybody. I want to introduce somebody very important. Saturday, we will be joined at the hip. Hector Corona is one of my staff. He is helping us out with the setup of the celebration. So he will be there all day. I wanted you guys to see his face and know Saturday that he will be assisting Sean at registration, running around all day, and we thank you very much.
Thanks, Hector. Over on the other side.
Thank you, Randy. Many of you know my wonderful friend, Becky Miracle. I have today with me her daughter, Amy, and she's here visiting from Indianapolis with her 2 children. Hello, everyone. I have a couple of friends with me. Lisa Dupree from Revel, Nevada. She's a member of the Prospectors Club at the Chamber, and she wants to come. She might be interested in joining the Rotary. And my friend, Lisa, say a couple of words about herself.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here. I represent Revel Nevada and Revel Vegas, both luxury communities, 55 and older, independent senior living. And thank you, Ed, for inviting me today.
Well, thank you for letting me come back. I had so much fun 2 weeks ago, and then gosh, the food was so great. I couldn't wait to get back again. But so are the people that I met. Thank you.
Nice to have you here again. You
Any
have
other guests?
guests of the club today? Melanie? No guests of the club today. Okay. Let me take a moment and introduce our head table. We have Nathan Harper, who will be more fully introduced in a moment. We have Father Tom here from Cristo Rey. We have Amy Wiles. And we have one of their students here today joining us, who we'll hear from a little bit more. And we have our board member and public relations person and wheel editor and a few other jobs, Tina Bishop. We welcome the head table. You have to pause and smile for a moment. Thank you. Jim Hunt. You're right there.
Right close by, Madam President. I'm going to give a report on the Cigar Fellowship. Before I do, can I go off script for just a minute? I was on my way here, and I drove by on Rainbow and Desert Bend an automobile accident that was being cleared up, and the car was on its roof, and the doors were open, and it was really obviously pretty concerning. And I was mentioning it to Brian here, and he just told me that he became aware that my understanding, our friend Janice actually performed CPR on the woman that was there and saved her life before she got here. So I want to just, not only is Janice a great Rotarian, but humanitarian as well. So thank you, Janice. I know that's hard, but
Janice walked in very upset.
I know that, and I just
She did a
wanted to,
good thing on her way here.
yes, so I drove right by the car upside down. So I was wondering, it's amazing, small world we all live in, how we can all interact. But on a lighter note, our Cigar Fellowship was an overwhelming success. We had about 80 people there. Now, what might be the last hurrah at Casa de Crow, which was just a beautiful place. We can't thank Tom and Jane enough for all the parties that he's hosted there. Absolutely. I again want to thank everyone who donated raffle prizes. It makes all the difference in the world, including Janice and Karen. And Karen's so great at helping make sure she organizes the family of Rotary. So we had more food than we knew what to do with, as well as always. Just a great turnout, great night. The weather cooperated. And we did okay because of all of that. We netted $1,508.32 for the foundation, which was pretty good. And that was our 26th cigar social since we started doing this several years ago. And to date, for the foundation, we have raised $23,857.70. So pretty good day. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim, for all your work putting those together over the years, and to Tom and Jane for hosting. David Jones is an announcement for the 25 Club.
Good timing. So up on the screen right now, we have our Hawaiian style potluck that will be coming up a week from today. That's where's our, there you are, at John Williams' home. We're going to have a putting contest. So we'll have to figure out some sort of prize for the winner or winners, because we're going to make it difficult. So I may have to stand there with my legs and have you putt between whatever. We'll figure it out so that it's a little more difficult. But everyone is welcome, members, non-members, family members, everything there. For this event, we also have confirmed Kirk Alexander will be giving our overview of the activities that our Rotary Club does, which are many, as well as we have Mike Ballard, who's going to be doing our historical preview for that little short minute as well. So we've got all of our program all lined up. And then one other thing we also have on May 20th, 25 Club is hosting the beach cleanup. And we have confirmed at least 2 jet skis. And we don't know if we've confirmed a boat yet. I'm listening. I know he's here. I'm listening to see if he's saying anything. So we may have a boat there as well. If any of you have jet skis or boats, you're welcome to bring them along and have a fun time with it. He's still shaking his head saying no. He's not confirming yet, but we will. All right, we're all good. So there, we've got a boat and at least 2 jet skis. So it's going to be a fun time out at the lake. Cleanup is not that bad, but it is a lot of fun to go and then spend some time with everybody else in a very different setting than we normally see. So with that, thank you, President Katie.
Will you repeat that date, please?
Saturday, May 20th at 8 o'clock, and we'll give directions in a month. And then it'll be in the Green Book as it rotates probably next week.
Perfect, thank you. Bob Pizer. There he is.
On behalf of Jackie, for the Wetzel Awards, we're set for Thursday, April 13th at 3 o'clock. All have plenty of time to get out of here. We'd like to have a bigger crowd as possible. It's been a couple of years since we've done this. Let's honor the junior enlisted personnel at the base on behalf of Scotty Wetzel. So the 13th for us here, and then we will honor those same airmen from the base on the 27th at our club meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be exciting to be back at the base after so many years. Stu Lipa.
I don't know if I could just stand here and wait for the slide to come up, so I'm going to start talking. So you'll see in your wheel a notation that on April 6th, one of our served schools, Hollywood Elementary, is holding their annual field day. And the morning time slot that starts at 8:45 in the morning and ends at 11 will still allow you time to participate in that and get to our lunch the same day. So this is a great opportunity to show the school and the kids, and for you to also see what it is that we're doing and investing in these schools. But it'll be kindergarten, first and second grade will be out there on their field. And what they're doing is they're looking for volunteers from that club to staff some of the activity stations there. So you'll help the kids line up. In some cases, you'll give them water and that sort of thing. You'll meet some of the teachers and have an opportunity to get out. Hopefully by then we'll be in the sun. So there is a placard by the badges that you put away today. You can take a picture of that, found it, and sign up. You also should have gotten last week an email that had the ability to sign up. And I don't have it in there yet. The QR code that's currently in your wheel by tonight, the ability to sign up on that. So there's lots of opportunities that you can come out on the 6th in the morning to help us out with that.
Thanks, Stu. Harry Gross. Get your exercise. So we have scheduled our next VIP tour. It is going to be April 20th from 4 to 6 p.m. We are going to go backstage at the center and have a tour. I'm sure everybody knows that our Centennial Project is is funding programs at the Smith Center. So we'll be able to see what our club did, the children will get to see and experience. So 4 to 6 p.m. on April 20th, we are going to have a happy hour afterwards. There's only 30 spots in this tour. So once the sign up gets in the green book, sign up if you're able to go early. I'm expecting the sign up to be in the green book. Thanks, Gary. And we're trying to get a little happy hour on after that. So we'll announce that when we get it firmed up. Tony Kern. You have Green Our Planet and District Assembly. Okay, I can do both. First, Green Our Planet. Once again, once again, we are the volunteer sponsors, and the club is a participating host of the Green Our Planet Giant Student Farmers Market. It's on Friday, April 21st. We need to be there by 8 a.m. to do some setup of tables. It will be at downtown Summerlin. It's done at 1 o'clock. There is a sign-up sheet in the Green Book. If you're able to stay the full time, it's helping to set up, then doing all the shopping you want, but also greeting the kids as they come off the bus with all of their stuff, their crops. They have completely sold out. They're going to have 60 schools attending. So it will be at least 600 students selling their stuff, whether it's kale, butter, lettuce, whatever they've got, they will be selling. I'd like to get a minimum of 10 people to volunteer. So please be sure to either see me, grab me, sign up in the Green Book, let Sean know whatever you can do. I'd like to have as many people as we can by the end of the third week in April so that we can give the count to our hosts, which is Green Our Planet. Up on the board, come and enjoy. The other thing is the district assembly. It is the following day. It will be on Saturday, April 22 in beautiful Apple Valley, only a little over 2 hours away from here. District assembly is a great opportunity for both leadership and members to learn all about different areas of Rotary. There's breakout sessions. Our own Dave Forrison is going to be facilitating and leading some of the sessions. It's also his birthday, so I think we owe it to him to all go out there and celebrate his birthday. There are people going the day before, spending the night. There are people leaving in the morning. I know Melanie is one of the people driving out on the morning of. So everybody, please sign up for the board members, both current and the incoming. That's part of your responsibilities according to the bylaws that you attend. So please sign up. We already have 8 people signed up. Not all of them are board members. And come join us. Thanks, Tony. And after district assembly, we have district conference coming up in May. It's May 5th and 6th. If anyone's planning on staying at the Horseshoe Hotel here where the conference is taking place, the room rates will go up on April 5th. So if you want to stay at the hotel, do it this week. Make your reservations this week. Also, for district conference, Friday night, they're honoring service members. So any member who is or was active duty service, please let us know so we can submit the names. If you have family members who are or have been active duty service people, please let us know because they want to honor all of the people who have served. So we want to get that in as soon as we can. So for that. And also we were preparing for Rilo, which has been canceled. The weather will not allow them to have the camp, have the kids there for the camp. So that has been canceled this year because they postponed it and the weather's bad and they couldn't reschedule camp. So they'll have to hold that next year. Janice, the centennial's coming up.
Okay, so we sent out a lot of emails, including the housekeeping notes. Some read them, some had questions, which is absolutely great. The lot to the school opens at 5:30. The lot is housing the VIPs, everybody's VIP, but those who paid for a sponsorship package, etc. You know who you are. The garage across from the school is where everybody parks. You bring your parking validation. Registration's going to be a little crazy with Sean and Hector. Well, you're hoping at registration. So we will have the parking stickers. Thank you, Debbie, to put on the back of your validation because Katie and the club is taking care of your self parking. So just know that throughout the evening we can give that it's a sticker, right? A sticker. But that there is no ticket to get into the dinner. There's just the sticker to get you out of the garage and not park for the parking. Yes. Okay. Is everybody good? Oh my gosh, we'll see you. What's today? Thursday. We'll see you in 2 days. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you again to the committee. I just got a sneak peek of the program. Oh my gosh, Tina, it's fabulous. So we'll see you guys Saturday.
Thanks, Janice. We have presentations today. We have a presentation for Cristo Rey High School. So Tom Thomas is not here. Is he? Fellow Rotarians, all of you probably know that Leslie and Tom Thomas have been most generous this year, and they have graciously provided $3,000 per month in Katie's centennial year for nonprofits. And for the month of April, we are, March. No, yes, March. I'm getting confused here. We are honored and pleased to have that donation of $3,000 going to St. Vitus Cristo Rey School. And here today, we have the head of the school, Father Tom, Amy Wiles, and I forgot your position, I apologize, Development Director, and most significant and important is Angela. She is a senior, and she is in the first graduating class of the school, and she's going to talk about her experience.
Hello everyone, my name is Angela Bravo. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself and my experience at Cristo Rey St. Vitus. I am a senior and will be graduating May 20th of 2023, which I'm very excited about. I transferred as a sophomore from a charter school to the amazing Cristo Rey St. Vitus family. The thing that really made me want to come to Cristo Rey was the corporate work study program that we have. It is a program in which students like me are selected by our wonderful corporate work study coordinators to go out and work with our corporate partners as interns in order to pay off our high school tuition. Due to COVID-19, we were unfortunately unable to go out and work during my sophomore year of high school, but luckily since then, I have been given the opportunity to work in 2 different workplaces. My first job my junior year was at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southern Nevada. I worked in administration and helped the community through customer service as well as marketing. I am currently working at the Consulate of Mexico, where I have learned so much more about a field that I never really paid attention to. I have learned the importance of communication skills as well as a foreign system of government. Both these workplaces have really taught me to open up and grow in communication, which is something that I really struggled with when I first started at Cristo Rey. The wonderful experience, as well as the academics at Cristo Rey, have helped pave the way for what I realized I wanted to contribute to my community. I plan on attending UNLV as a nursing major. I decided that I wanted to be a nurse because I want to help others the way in which others have helped me. I figured what better way to help others than to contribute to a field that requires the help of many workers. When I become a nurse, I plan to give back to my community by ensuring that the lives of others are in safe and caring hands. And with the help of Cristo Rey State Viator, this passion and dream of mine is on the way of becoming true. Thank you.
If that doesn't give you some inspiration in knowing the youth at St. Vitus Cristo Rey does, we are pleased to give you the check of $3,000.
Thank you. On behalf of our 256 students and celebrating our first inaugural graduating class, we want to thank you for the support. We're a school in North Las Vegas that we serve only low-income students, and they receive a Catholic high school college prep program and education at primarily a free cost by working. So thank you for all that you give us. This will go a long way to continue to support our students. Blessings.
Thank you, Father Tom and Amy and Angela. It really is a tremendous program that Cristo Rey has. And Jim Cole is here, and I think he was one of the original people that was instrumental in getting the school started. We're happy that we're able to contribute to it. Mike Kudamont, we have Paul Harris presentation, Brock, and your daughter. Ian Brock.
So Rotary International, the way Rotary International honors members for contributing a certain amount of money by making them a Paul Harris Fellow. Today we have Brock receiving Paul Harris Fellow Class 8.
Thank you, Mike. I have told Amy a little bit about what Rotary International does and Rotary International Foundation and the places that some of our money goes. The recognition that I just received, for accumulations of $1,000 in gifting to the international. What I didn't tell Amy was that sometimes we, rather than accept the recognition ourselves, we can designate it for someone who's really important to us. Today, that's it.
Thanks, Mike. And today we have the opportunity to induct 2 new members. Melanie?
All right, fellow Rotarians, on behalf of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, it is my privilege to induct 2 new members today, Tanya Waggle, and we're sponsored by Tony Kern, and Brian Morris, sponsored by Jason Federico, not here,
And he has a recorded message that he recorded earlier this week. So Tony, if you could provide an introduction to Tanya, the club, and then Tanya will say a few words, and then we will watch the message from Jason, and then Brian. Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to sponsor Tanya Waggle, a transferring Rotarian, as a new member of the Las Vegas Rotary Club. Tanya comes to us from the Las Vegas After Hours Club, where she was one of the founding members and active in community service, fundraising, and membership. She has her MBA and is currently Vice President of Business Development, I hope I got the title right, with First Savings Bank, and has worked with our own Bruce Frazee for many years. I had an opportunity to speak with Bruce to see if I could get some good intel on Tanya, and he had nothing but amazing praise for this woman, who will be a wonderful addition to our club. Tanya has quite a beautiful voice, so Sidra will now have a partner to balance between the two of them, as well as with Susan Ziobro, because her voice is piercing, you can hear it, and she was professional singing with a band. So she's got good stuff. She's very active in the community, building business relationships, and is the incoming president of Crew Las Vegas, a premier business networking organization working to advance women in all aspects of commercial real estate. She has a passion for financial literacy for youth, loves all things Spread the Word Nevada, and has participated in SOAR, just to name a few things she already has in common with us that she brings to the table. An interesting tidbit I learned about Tanya is her regularly scheduled Thursday nights playing pool. So she may not be able to make the 25 club meeting, but she's like a pool shark, so watch out. And Bruce told me she's very good at pool. Also, she has another interesting little tidbit that fits very close to home here, is she's also involved in a monthly cigar social or a club where she engages in a good smoke as well. Clearly, she is someone who has heart for service, and we look forward to Tanya's ideas and engagement in the club, continuing to grow our family of Rotary. Welcome, Tanya. I just want to thank everyone for welcoming me into your club, and just go Cards.
Hey everyone, it's Jason Frederico. Hey everyone, it's Jason Frederico. Brian Morris, my best friend in life, is getting inducted today for Rotary. I'm disappointed I couldn't be there, but I wanted to send in a video. Brian is one of the greatest guys I've ever known. Been friends since we were 5. He's the owner of Pro Grade Carpet Cleaning, and just a heck of a guy. He's like a second son to my parents. He's like a brother to me. I know he's going to be a great addition to the Rotary chapter. Want to wish him a happy birthday, happy 40th, Brian. And I love you. I know you're going to be a valuable asset to the group, and I know you're going to fit right in. So congratulations and cheers to you. Love you. Bye.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you to everybody that had the opportunity to talk to me so far. That was much better than I thought. So that's fantastic. Giants suck. Go Dodgers.
Brian and Tanya, we are so excited that you have accepted our invitation to become part of our Rotary Club, and your initial attraction to our activities can go deeper and more meaningful. Rotary organization has a long and amazing history. Rotary International has 6 areas of focus: peace and conflict prevention resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development. Our particular club has an increased focus on education and literacy with the adoption of our mission statement, teaching youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development. As you know, our club is celebrating 100 years. We strive to continuously innovate and become relevant to our changing environment, and we are looking forward to your leadership and advice as we journey into the next 100 years. We invite you to engage and provide feedback as you learn more about the amazing work that we do. It is not all work. We also are very excited to learn more about you during our social and fellowship activities. You are now part of our Rotary family, and we hope that you brings as much joy to you as it does to us. As members of the club, we look forward to the enrichment of our lives as well as that of your own. Now, Rotarians, if you please stand with me. You are being given a Rotary pin by your sponsor. Yeah, when everybody's getting. These guys do double duty here. This is a pin by which your fellow Rotarians in the community will recognize you as a Rotarian, and we ask that you wear it proudly. With that, it is my pleasure and honor to congratulate Brian and Tanya on being inducted as the newest members in the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the universe.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to take a quick minute and thank the people that set up today, Kathy Mahan and Bob Warner, our greeters, Rod Tucker and Deb Howard, Bob Pizer for ticket sales. Our scribe today is the ever-talented John Pally. Our photographer, Jim Tucker, and Austin Wyrick for doing the AV, and for cleaning up after the meeting, Michael Williams and Susan Ziobro. It's my pleasure this time to do the drawing. Our pot today is a whopping $686 since it's been won twice. And the ticket number is 6689181. 6689181. Somebody, oh, Karen Wisenhunt. And for $50 in Lowry bucks, the number is 6689109. 89109. Okay. Larry Cohn. Congratulations, Larry. Can't stand it and stuff on your face. Thank you. It's my great pleasure now to introduce Tina Bishop, who's going to introduce our speaker today. Tickets? No, we're not. No, those are all gone. Thank you, Katie. It's my honor to introduce to you today our speaker, Nathan Harper, who is the archaeologist at Springs Preserve. Some of you will remember almost 5 years ago, not to the day, it's within 2 weeks, he was here speaking to this club about Boomtown 1905 and the part our club played in it. I thought it was fitting for him to come back and talk to us on the eve of our gala. Boomtown is very special to this club and to members of the club. You'll see through his presentation how it's connected. But just a quick note is that one of the houses that is on display from the early 1904 to 1910 railroad houses that were built for mid-level employees of the railroad. I think there were 64 built, and in 2004, only 7 were left. And 4 of them were moved to the Springs Preserve in Boomtown 1905. And this club helped restore one of those homes. There was a grant in 2004 for $30,000 that this club contributed to the Springs Preserve and that move and restoration. And the J.A. Taberti Construction Company donated also another $5,000. So we're well connected. And rather than take up any more time, I'll let you talk to the expert at this point and turn the meeting over to Nathan Harper. Welcome back, Nathan.
Thank you so much, Tina, and thank you to Las Vegas Rotary for allowing me to come back and speak with you again. Congratulations on this surviving. Obviously, I want you to take a moment and cast your mind back to what Las Vegas may have looked like in the past. It was dusty, it was dirty, it was windy. Well, it's still windy, right? But thank goodness. And what a privilege it is to live in modern Las Vegas, right? What a wonderful city that we live in. And I've been here now almost 20 years. And in my 20 years here, I've seen an incredible change, incredible progress in this city. Looking forward to what the next 100 years are going to be for the city of Las Vegas. Find my clicker here. There we go. So when we're talking about Las Vegas, we're talking about Southern Nevada. We are on the traditional lands of the Nuwuvi people, the Southern Paiute people. There are, in this map right here, we're looking at a map of the traditional homelands of the Southern Paiute people. This is where all the bands of the Southern Paiute people live. Here we have the Las Vegas band, the Pahrump band, the Moapa band, Shimuwadi folks live down on the Colorado River. This is their ancestral homelands. And of course, this place was always a major stopping point because of the springs. The Las Vegas springs are the big springs that flowed out of the ground here in the Las Vegas Valley, and more than 1.5 million gallons of water would flow out of those springs into the north and south fork of the Las Vegas Creek there on the side of the Springs Preserve. And that creek would flow on past downtown Las Vegas, past where the location of the Old Mormon Fort is, right? We know in the 1850s that the missionaries came down to the Las Vegas Valley and built their fort, their mission here. It didn't last too terribly long, only for a few years before they moved back up to Utah. But that was really the beginning of the basis for Las Vegas. In the 1860s, you had Octavius Decatur Gass, whose name is very familiar to those who are involved in history. You see Decatur Boulevard, you see Gas Creek, Gas Street downtown. So his name is all over the place. I also want to say thank you again for letting me come here and being part of this group of very important speakers that you've had. You had Art Paul Pack there, you had Mike Green, J.T. White, to be included with that group of very knowledgeable historians. Also, so Las Vegas really is a railroad town. Before the railroad shut up, when the San Pedro, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake Railroad passed through the Las Vegas Valley, this was just a sleepy backwater, right? Even sleepier. It was a small town. When we look at the 1870 census for Las Vegas, there were 11 people in that census. And 3 of them were Native American women, right? So we know that Las Vegas was a very small community early on, and it really was with the railroad that Las Vegas began to grow. The main reason that they wanted to bring the railroad here was the springs, was the water. They needed water for their trains, they needed water for the locomotives to make sure they were going to run. Also, it was very conveniently about halfway between Salt Lake City and San Pedro on the California coast. So we have this really nice map here. This is showing all the land that the railroad owned here in downtown Las Vegas. That included the town site that was part of that 1905 auction that sort of serves as the founding of Las Vegas. You also see over here, you have the west side. That's J. Williams West Side community that we surveyed out there. And you see the Las Vegas Creek flowing through that land. And much of this land was purchased from Helen Stewart. Helen Stewart sold a lot of this land to the San Pedro Railroad. And after purchasing this property, developing the rail line from Salt Lake City to California, they needed that division point, that main stopping point. So this is where they built a lot of their shops. Water was important, but they also needed to have a place to service those locomotives as they passed through Las Vegas Valley. So there was shops, rail yard, round table, and everything else that was built at the head of Fremont Street, where the plaza currently stands. That was the rail yard. About 400 people were employed in the shops for the railroad at that time. Now, this was all the brainchild of William Andrews Clark. Once again, if you know anything about Las Vegas history, William Andrews Clark was the definition of a robber baron, right? He was a copper magnate, and really the whole reason he wanted to build this railroad was move his copper from Montana to California. That was the main reason. William Andrews Clark was, this is back in the day when senators and legislatures were appointed rather than elected. And he was the kind of guy who would spread out a lot of money to a lot of different people to make sure that people were in those positions. A very famous political cartoon of William Andrews Clark walking through the Senate hallways with somebody carrying a bag of cash, just throwing cash over transits of the offices. But William Andrews Clark wasn't involved here directly in Las Vegas. His brother, J. Ross Clark, did a lot of work here, but really their man here in Las Vegas was Walter Bracken. Out of 10. It's a name that everybody's going to be very familiar with. This is Walter Bracken sitting in his office that was in the post office, was in the bank building for many years, and this is the office of the Las Vegas Land and Water Company. So when we talk about the auction, when we talk about these cottages, when we talk about all these public works projects, the early water public works projects that were done here in Las Vegas, it was Walter Bracken who was leading the charge on all of them. So when we saw that original auction that happened, each of these city blocks in Las Vegas were numbered and divided into separate plots and flats, right? And we had up to, I believe, about 30 city blocks that were all numbered. Of course, everybody knows about Block 16, right? Block 16 is where all the action happened, where the bars and brothels were located. Just next door to Block 16, obviously, was Block 17. And that was the only place where people of color, African Americans, Latinos were allowed to live. It was also where they built the jail. Oddly prescient there. So there are about 65 of these cottages that were built between 1909 and 1911. There were plans to build up to 120 of these cottages, right? And they were built on blocks 23, 24, 25, and 26. So if you're looking at downtown, you're thinking street, you're thinking Garces, Bonneville, Clark, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Street, those 4 square blocks. Now, if you go down to those streets today, you can see some of those houses. Some of those cottages are still there, but they don't look anything like the cottages that we restored. They've been heavily modified, heavily changed. Some of them are law offices, some of them are jail bond offices. And we'll talk a little bit more about how all this was funded and paid for, but the vast majority of the funding for this project came from the Southern Nevada Public Land Management Act, the land transfers and land sales between the BLM and private individuals. And that SNPLMA fund pays into the development of public works projects, parks, outdoor trails, things like that. So this project is partially funded by SNPLMA, Southern Nevada Public Land Management. We also had grants from the Commission for Cultural Affairs, the Rotary American Public Works Association, Cashman Family Foundation, and the Rotary. And we're very lucky. Usually when you do any sort of preservation or historic preservation, restoration, you have to go in and you have to do a little bit more handling. You have to go down and scrape down those layer of paints to identify what that original layer of paint was. You have to sort of dismantle and take apart some parts of these houses to figure out how they were put together and how they were constructed. In this case, we were incredibly lucky because we had UNLV Special Collections had in their possession the original blueprints for these cottages. Not only for the cottages, but also for the original 1906 railroad as well. So we have multiple multiple blueprint sheets like this, and these all weren't built exactly the same. It's almost like this was an early company town. It's almost like it was early housing development. There were 4 separate fronts on them. There were 4 separate trim colors. There are 4 different roof colors. So as you look at that neighborhood, you weren't just looking at the same house over and over again. You were looking at houses in a neighborhood that had a bit of a rhythm and a shape to it. So all of our all the paint that we put on the houses, all the roof colors, everything else, match those directly from those original blueprints. Now these are interesting houses in the fact that they're not wood frame. There's not a lot of timber here in the Las Vegas Valley to build wood frame houses. Some of the early structures would have been built out of brick and adobe. These were built out of concrete blocks that were actually made on site there. The Las Vegas Age is an incredible resource. This is the original newspaper for Las Vegas from 1925 until it was subsumed. I believe. And you can go back and you can read the Las Vegas Age. They discuss the construction of these cottages. They give you weekly updates on what they're doing, plasters coming in, paint's being done. And the interesting thing is there's actually a newspaper article where they say they built a spur line, they built tracks down the alleyway of where these houses were going to be located. They would roll the cars in there and offload the materials to be built directly on those lots. One other thing is that on one of those rail cars, they actually had cement mixer, and all the equipment on the rail car. They just mix the cement for these blocks directly on site. So what we're looking at is probably a lot of local material that was made to help build these cottages. The other thing is that we can look at and we can see who built these cottages. And we looked at accounts of this. We know that the majority of the laborers who were working on these cottages were Japanese. Now, these were moved to our site in about 2005, and largely that was the fault of Bob Stodall, who's on our board of trustees there at the Spring Preserve. Bob is a historian, a devotee of Las Vegas history, and he was really the one who encouraged us to take up the responsibility of saving these houses. So they were moved, and they were in the back corner of the Spring Preserve for several years before we got all the funds together, got all the planning together. And then in winter of 2013, we put these things on cribbing and large I-beams and drove them down the road of the Spring Preserve and replaced them in their original spot. And you can actually go on YouTube and have several time-lapse videos showing us moving these houses into position. It's really exciting to see that happen. It was a heck of a lot faster on YouTube than it was. Here are the cottages when they were placed on the site there, and we saw that plat map showing the yards, showing the plans for the cottages. We placed all these cottages on original sized lots, and pretty generous, more generous than you see in a lot of Las Vegas houses today. And we placed them on these cottages didn't have basements, they didn't have crawl spaces, but we needed to build up some, to allow some access to the floors. Now, one of the interesting things about the construction of these is that these blocks weren't solid rectangular concrete blocks like you see in most construction. It was almost like they took these concrete blocks, they cut them in half. So, looking at sort of half blocks were built. So you had a T on the inside of one block matched up with the joint on the other side of it, right? Now, when you have a block that isn't standard rectangular size like that, you have two wires, so two layers to it. What happened is, in some instances, that outer wire, that outer layer of block actually peeled away a lot. The cottages out at the Clark County Heritage Museum out on Boulder Highway, that was an issue they ran into. They had to move it up farther down the road, but they lost some of the outer wall, some of that. But these were over a 100-year-old structures, so they needed a little bit of TLC, they needed a little bit of repair, a lot of the masonry needed work, that all that unwashed sand that was used to make those concrete blocks needed to be a little bit. So one of the other issues that we ran into is there was no actual link between the floors and the ceilings and the walls. They built a concrete box, put a floor in it, and then just dropped the roof and set it on top of it. None of those were actually connected together. So for modern safety standards and construction standards and seismic standards, we actually had to go in and do a little bit of what we call a seismic retrofit, right? So you don't have those rectangular blocks. You have these blocks laid in bonds. There's still space. There's still a little bit of airspace between those blocks. So what we did is we actually put rebar down those spaces, packed those with mortar, and put in these wall anchors to help hold all of it together. Now, I can't attest to this, but the engineer who did the design on it said that this would take a nuclear blast, no problem. I don't want to test it. These have been greatly modified and altered as well, so we had to go back and we wanted to return it to its original sort of thing. We took out a lot of the additions, we took out some of the partitions that have happened inside of this housing as well. And so this is actually a doorway on the side, and we fix that up. After we repaired that pillar, this is actually a kitchen. So this is what it looks like when we got it all finished and all put together. Once again, the Las Vegas Age was such a fantastic resource. We went and looked at that. That was a story. It was from about 1911, 1912 or so. They actually sent a community member to Los Angeles to the botanical gardens in LA. He came back with a train car full of plants and a list of all the plants that he brought back with him. So what we did when we planted the yards in the college, we went from that list, knowing the things that actually would have been planted in the yards at the time. So here are the 4 cottages in a row, restored, out on Boomtown, 5, and you have our recognition plaque there, which highlights all of them. Very generous donors, and we like to think we did a pretty good job. We think it matches pretty closely with what was originally in Las Vegas. Now, this was so important to us. We said we can't just have these cottages. We need to feed this space. We need to make this a bigger story because we had the capacity to do that. So we went in and we furnished the one that was sponsored by the sponsored by the Rotary. This is our museum cottage. This is the cottage everybody comes to interpret life in early Las Vegas. This is your sitting room here. You have the regulator clock on the wall, plein air painting. You have 2 images here from the 1900s. You have a man in uniform, World War I uniform, and a woman at the jet style vest. Picture there. So obviously carpets. You would have had curio cabinets. We know that Helen Stirrup was an avid basket collector. So we have some Haiti baskets throughout there and some Native American rugs. And I want to point out this rocking chair right here. This would be a little bit more important. That's a Lincoln style. This was our kitchen. Kitchen was pretty small. We had some original built cabinets. So the built cabinets that were built into the walls We had some of the original cabinets there. When we were looking at the floor, you know, you can look at the floor, all wooden floors. Wooden floors, you can actually see the marks on the floor where everything was placed. So when we looked at the floor, we knew that there was a stove that was there. So we found that brown circle. Well, we couldn't figure out what it was. We figured out it was the stand for the range boiler. So the range boiler was your water heater that was set next to your stove, and the pilot light from your stove would have heated your water. So it's a big bath, use some hot water, you would have to go to the range boiler to get some water for your bath. The range boiler came from Maine, of all places, across the country, quite a journey. And the stove actually came from Minnesota. I went to every entry fall in the Las Vegas Valley and Clark County to furnish these houses. That was a fun thing. I got to see. There were 4-room and 5-room cottages. 5-room cottages had 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms in it. We had simple sort of metal beds. There's a rug, singer sewing machine, your nursery, children's room where we talked a little bit about early Las Vegas school in early Las Vegas, schoolhouse, Fifth Street School, Las Vegas High School, Missouri. And so, you know, telling the story is important throughout the town, throughout the cottages. We have all of our interpretive panels there tell the story here. We also tell the Birdie family story. Birdie actually lived in, not lived in one of the cottages. He lived in a shack that was in the backyard of one of the cottages because it was a women's boarding house. And men weren't allowed to stay in the boarding house. They could stay in the back. Now, he came to Las Vegas in 1941. He was staying in a boarding house in the backyard. His wife was actually staying in one of the cottages as a boarding house. That's what they had. We had a dedication in 2014. Governor Sandoval was able to come down. The Birdie family was able to visit us for that dedication as well. And that Lincoln rocking chair that I pointed out to you, front room of the cottage, when the family walked into that front room, all of them got very excited. Their grandmother had the same rocking chair. So it was kismet. It was a coincidence that we had that there, but that by the end of the night, we all gathered around. So what about Boomtown? What about Las Vegas during this time period, right? The railroad period in Las Vegas isn't particularly well represented at museums. There's some items that are going to be down at the Clark County Heritage Museum. But, you know, people think, you know, Las Vegas started with Bugsy Siegel. I always think those people shin. Well, they're wrong. Tell them Las Vegas has a very deep history. It's been a community for a lot longer than Siegel was ever around. So this is some images of early Las Vegas. Imagine the canopy for Fremont Street Experience covering this area. In the street there, it's a railroad depot where the plaza is. So as we were developing the cottages, we said these cottages can serve to have something else there that highlight them, elevate them. It's going to teach people who are passing through Las Vegas about the history of this place. So we need to build a small city, street representing early Las Vegas period. We had the original blueprints designed in large from the depot. We had lots of images, lots of newspapers. So we went to one of our architects, Arthur Sellers, architects, who were able to scale our railroad depot properly. So our railroad depot is about a 2/3 size scale of what the original Las Vegas depot looked like. And in there, we obviously did railroad line jobs on the railroad, telegraph, telegraph. We have our replica ticket office here, which has all the accoutrements you can see. So one of my favorite things that we have there is we have a luggage area, but we have a newsstand. And on that newsstand, we have small panels highlighting stories of the day, the Spanish flu, suffrage, those types of stories. But we have also printed out the front pages, several copies of the Las Vegas Age, and small little plastic pages. You can pull those front pages out of the newsstand. You can sit there and wait for the train to come pick you up and see about what's happening in the States. 11, 19, 10. The Lincoln Hotel, unfortunately, does not stand anymore at the corner of Main Street and Bridgewood. It was demolished just a few short years ago. Luckily for us, we were able to get lots of images, get some measurements, and recordings of that, and we were able to sort of construct a replica of the hotel on our property as well. Hotel. The Majestic Theater was one of the first theaters that was in Las Vegas. During the summer months, they had an outdoor theater they called the Air Dome. So the story there is if it started to rain, everybody would grab the projector, grab the film, and everything would run back inside. And you can imagine trying to watch a film in Las Vegas in the summer. You would have to be outside the theater. Now, the very first theater here in Las Vegas was the ISIS Theater. And at the time, we were doing development design inside ISIS stuff. And so this is what we developed. We have an outdoor theater area. We now have a large monitor on the wall there. These film posters, such as the Arizona Club in that famous Block 16. This is perhaps one of the most famous bars in Las Vegas history. We've got beautiful sort of leaded glass, stained glass front across the front. Very distinctive brickwork over there. 10 ceiling feet. Fantastic lights are there. So we tried to match that as closely as possible by the perspective. Obviously, we're not building a one-for-one replica of the Arizona Club. We're trying to catch the look and feel, give people an idea of what life is like. I like to joke about this one. We have Las Vegas Mercantile, and we didn't base this off one specific store. There are many stores at the time. Our Sport in front of the Lumberyard, any of those. So I like to joke and say that this is our non-specific general store. Right? And so we try to reconstruct that look and feel that we would have these old general stores with just a wall of products. And then finally, we have a replica constructed of the first state. One of the first. This is one of the larger rock structures that was originally built in Las Vegas. And they built it this way because they were like, this, we're building this bank, we're permanent, we're not going anywhere. It's a permanent structure in Las Vegas that's going to die as long as we're here. So this is the bank building, and this is the cage inside the bank building. And a person standing right there in the window, that's John Park, who was one of the original presidents, the cashiers of the bank. This might be Cyril Winger. Right here was also an early Rotarian. He was a cashier and a teller at the early days. So this is what our bank looks like. This is what our cage looks like. Once again, I feel really good about how this one turned out. I also want to point out this gentleman right here. That's William Park. That's John Park's son. Dr. William Park was an early dentist here in town. He's also one of the earliest founding Rotarians of the Las Vegas Rotary Club. The interesting thing about William S. Park is he was a dentist. He was an avocational geologist. There's several sources of onyx found in the river mountains that he identified and went on. He was also an avocational archaeologist. So William S. Park actually did excavations at the Springs Preserve, late 1920s, early 1930s. And some of the artifacts that we recovered are in the Ross City Museum. Well, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you today. I want to thank the Las Vegas Rotary for their support, for everything they do for the community, for everything you've done for the Springs Preserve. This is the plaque that's on the front of what we call the Converted Cottage on Boomtown. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions, but thank you so much for letting me bring this. I know some people were asking me questions.
We're at 1:30, so if anybody wants to stay after and ask Nathan questions, I think he'll be happy to state names with them. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll look forward to seeing everybody at the Fifth Street School on Saturday evening, and meetings adjourned. Thank you very much. I want to thank you for your presentation, and we have for you our Soul Power Award, which is a pair of shoes to a needy child in your name, and a copy of our centennial book for you. So thank you very much.